Good morning and hello, I'm Fresco and this is the Forex Supermodel racing review for Sunday the 24th of July 2022. Quick look at yesterday's result for Saturday the 23rd. We were at Ascot on the flat in the 410. We had to get 3 horses in that race and the eventual winner was one we weren't doing, unfortunately. Naval Power won at 10 to 11. We were on the second, Waiting All Night. We were on the third, Mascarpone. And we're on the fifth, Finn's Charm. So it didn't pan out for us particularly well. We had 0.75 of a unit on, so we lost that, and the account's now down to plus 55.90 units in profit. What happened there then, basically, we took the view that Naval Power was opposable, and we opposed it in those 3. I said we basically got it right, bar the fact that Naval Power. I mean, Dettori on Finn's Charm, which was backed in, basically set the race up for Naval Power. He basically got the pace going nicely for him and then burnt out. So there you go. That's just the way the race was run. We got the order pretty much straight apart from this Naval Power. We said that Waiting All Night was probably the best of the 3. Mascarpone next and Finn's Charm arguably the worst. So and that's the way it panned out, but we didn't get anything for it and we lost say 3/4 of a unit. Anyway, that's the end of that, so we'll move on and we'll look at today's racing. Right, we're back. We've written up today's racing. So for Sunday the 24th of the 7th, we've got no filter 1, which is our structure filter. We've got no ratio, but your own alternate. It's at Chelmsford on the all-weather at 1 o'clock. First race there at the meeting. It's a nursery handicap, class 3 2-year-old, 0 to 95 furlongs, model 96. What does model 96 mean? Well, Lingfield's 100, 5 furlongs. Dundalk and Newcastle are model 99, and Southwell, Kempton and Wolverhampton 97, and Chelmsford, as we said, is 96. So it's the slowest. It's the slowest of the lot on the all-weather. So it gives you an idea. It's a slower pace surface profile. That's something to bear in mind. There's 5 horses in the race. So what do we know about that? So we can knock out if we can knock out Fragrance, which we think we can, which is number 2. What do we know about Fragrance? Well, Fragrance has been operating at fast flat tracks, Newmarket, Ascot, Catterick, and when it goes to a slower track, it underperforms, and basically it needs the faster conditions. So if you can get rid of Fragrance, you're basically left with this odds-on favourite, One More Ollie, which is number 1, which won at Chelmsford on the 5 furlongs, maiden restricted to fillies, which is the actual surface we're on today, and the distance, and then it went into the Queen Mary and basically more or less came last, and we reckon that's a max about 80, that horse. So it's going to be it's overhyped, and so once you get rid of Fragrance and One More Ollie, you're left with three in the race, so it's a similar situation to yesterday actually. We had 3 against the only one that was going to beat us was the one that did beat us, which was this whatever it was called, Naval Power. Anyway, hopefully that won't happen again today. So we're left with number 3, Lucy Lightfoot, number 4, New Hope Bullet, and number 5, She's a Mirage. Right, number 3, Lucy Lightfoot. Basically, model 96 looks about right for that horse, and we've managed to get 0.1875 a unit on at 8.4 to 1. So remember, if you think about it in terms of an £8 unit, or £80 or 800 or whatever you're using, then we'd be looking at putting, if it was £8 a unit, equals 1 unit, just for ease, then you'd be putting 150 on Lucy Lightfoot at 8.4 to 1. And then the next one, New Hope Bullet. What do we know about New Hope Bullet? Well, it's been at Bath and Fosslas, which is slightly different. Bath is model 95, which is similar, and Fosslas is fast again. So the Newmarket race for New Hope Bullet, the winner was rated 110 and went out and won the Queen Mary, the most recent Royal Ascot. So the big tick there for a New Hope bullet really. And we've got 0.1875 again, so in £8 terms it's £1.50 as a proportion, and we got 7 to 1 on that horse, so that's pretty good. And then the final one, She's a Mirage, number 5. That's been at Salisbury and Bath, which are about the right sort of pace surface profiles, and those were decent races, 101 90s models. So that horse is pretty decent. She's a Mirage. It's got a claimer on as well, which can't do any harm. So that's and we've got 0.25 of a unit. So in terms of our £8, we've been putting £2 on there. So that gives us a total of £5 out of a unit of £8, giving us 0.625 as a fraction of a unit. So that's our exposure, and we've spread it around like that. So as we said, this is basically a rerun of yesterday, where we got 2nd and 3rd correct, and the 5th was in the correct order. But we were beaten by this Naval Power, which to be fair was a very decent horse, and pretty much stuffed artery. So hopefully that won't happen again with today, with this one more Ollie. These horses are to be reckoned with in our view. Lucy Lightfoot, New Hope Bullet, and She's a Mirage. So we'll see how we go, and we'll review it tomorrow again. We could do with a result on that. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and goodbye.